So I am here with the famous, the biggest YouTuber on the site, RDM Senpai.
I'm not big whatsoever. But let's go.
All right, we're reviewing season 2 of Demon Slayer. Season
Oh,
2.
Demon Slayer season 2 is actually something that like everybody's just been anticipating. But like most of the people just want like later stuff to come into play, like way later.
Yeah, and the season 2 sets a lot of pieces on play though, like a lot of pieces.
Yeah, it's a fucking episode that lays out a lot of very important stuff that a lot of people just was dying to see or like couldn't anticipate to see exactly.
But before we start today's episode, why did I say it like that? Before we start, I just want to let you all know, spoiler, 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 you're gonna get spoiled! Okay, now that's out the way.
It'll most likely be in the title, most likely be at the front or whatever. But yeah,
I'll probably put a
alert.
notice at the beginning. Spoiler alert.
We're gonna go into semi-decent detail. If you haven't caught up already, you should have caught up by now.
What he said.
Like, come on now. You shouldn't be watching unless you've caught up. Like, let's be real.
That's it. Yeah, that's
We're
the
going
same
through,
thing
like,
I thought
everything.
about. That's the same thing I thought about when people were talking about Mugen Train, the movie, and we were like, "You
Yeah.
spoiled it. You spoiled what happened." Mate, why were you watching spoiler reviews then?
Like, Demon Slayer is so big right now. It's like whenever it's release week for new episodes, it's easily top 5, top 3 of like the week.
And
Like everybody should have finished it by now. Like,
it's
come
like
on.
super easy to catch up to. Like if you don't want to sit down and watch the season 1, then just get the game and play it. It's literally just season 1 and the movie. Like I'm playing it right now. That's what it is. And it's not even like they don't even cut that much out too. It's just the anime, but you're playing it.
And the 24 episodes of each Demon Slayer like episode as well. Like everybody says it just feels just like not even 20 minutes. It feels like you're watching for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's paced really well.
So much. Go good.
Demon Slayer is made by a great company. I'm glad like the company that's handling them is handling them because the animation is amazing, the pacing is awesome, and they just know what they're doing. But without further ado, we need to get into this review.
Yes.
Episode 1.
Episode 1. Sound Hashira Tengen Uzui. Also, I'm going to say now, if there's any mispronunciation or you pronounce it differently, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Do not care. Everybody has their own interpretations of words.
Yeah, bitch.
Well, but yeah, episode 1, which, come on, if you haven't seen episode 1 yet, it's like not the biggest episode here.
It's the longest
but it's still
one.
It's a good opening episode, and if you haven't watched it yet, how? Like
it takes a little bit of stamina to get through that one at least because it was like 40 minutes, and they did stretch it a little bit. That's like the hardest episode to get through, but it's definitely not a bad episode. It was just hard to get through.
Okay, well, we can dive into a little bit about episode 1. From memory serves me right, episode 1 dives in. It either starts with us being re-shown from where you left off from Mugen Train, so we're introduced back to the whole Tanjiro group. But at the same time, a little bit towards the beginning as well, we're able to see Muzan and Akaza again from the ending of Mugen Train.
Oh, yeah, that scene, oh man, that gave me goosebumps. I was like, oh, well, is Akaza gonna die today?
Like, the intimidation levels, you can tell, like, that boy was shaking.
The dude that was bossing on Rengoku and the gang, like he was just straight up bossing on them, comes and is shaking in fear for his life. Like he thinks he's gonna die.
Like, bro, Krispy Kreme like shaking in his boots. He's out here making donuts, but
man,
we're gonna
donut.
Okay, but yeah, we're introduced to that. But as well, by now you also should have seen Mugen Train, either the entire movie or
They
by
literally
now
put
I
it in the
just
arc. They literally put it
yeah
in an arc in the anime, so you
they
definitely don't have any excuse at this point.
yeah they I think they one of actually the initial scenes is like a little bit of a recap
The first
and
episode is actually I forgot to mention this one. I won't go that deep into detail about this one. Isn't that important? But the very first episode of season 2 technically is Rengoku having a little bit of like build up to the movie. He saves this little girl and stuff. It was pretty cool. That was pretty
was that
dope.
as in the TV rendition of Mugen Train or
Yeah,
this
the
episode?
first episode of the TV rendition of the Mugen Train. Um,
Ooh.
it like added some background for Rengoku being there, and it
Okay, to be
was
honest, I haven't watched it,
it's not that
but like
important, but
it's good.
it's
But
definitely not bad.
what we can say is also like because of this recap, and if you should have watched it already, everybody knows by now that Rinkoku's dead. Sadly, introduced one movie or now the TV series, he's now dead.
My boy's a donut.
Um, so with this, he was given like Tanjiro and his little group was given a little bit of like farewell's last messages to give to his father and his parents and such. So in episode 1 as well, later in the half, they do go to his father and his brother, and they awfully look alike. Like, bro, copy and paste.
Bro looks like
Paste.
Rengoku with a beard.
Bro actually got copied and pasted. But in this episode as well, he does get to. He does get fully recovered from the fight of Mugen Train, and he does get to actually meet his father. And in I don't know if you remember, but in the scene where he first meets his father, he actually tells us a very important detail. And do you know what that detail is? That's a question.
Was it
Do you
about sun
remember?
breathing?
Yes.
He basically
That,
says it's called sun breathing.
so that introduces a big fact into the whole like stuff we need to like keep learning about the Demon Slayer world.
Yeah,
Is we
that
all thought that there's only this handful of breathing techniques, and then they say there's a sun breathing now. Like, what?
there's all kinds of breathing styles, and I like how people like the people in the universe like make their own. That is super cool to me. But sun breathing, it seems to be weird. And also another thing I'm thinking of as I watched that episode was, why is Rengoku's dad acting like this randomly? Like he used to be a great dad, and then randomly he's just like, I beat my children now. like,
Obviously, we don't laugh and condone at that, but
but that was pretty funny.
like out of nowhere, I mean, it's a sad thing to see. A once great Hashira master did sadly like slowly lose everything, and he's
As long,
partially now an alcoholic. But
I'm glad that
it,
Tanjiro was able to like switch his mindset around by the end of the episode though, and he stopped acting like a jerk. And
yeah,
he realized, oh
it,
no, Rengoku's dead. Then he started crying. That was awesome to see. And I want to see how
and then
young Rengoku turns out. I want to see how good of a sword fighter he becomes.
what do you mean, young?
Younger Rengoku. I forgot his
You mean his
name.
brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people remember his name. Okay, this last detail that about is I don't know if it actually was at the end of episode 1 or if it was the start of episode 2. So it is just like the transition to episode 2.
Is there anything else we're missing? Oh yeah, one more thing from episode 1 before we do that though. Um, at the end of the episode, Tengen, he was feeling all
Okay.
feeling all
Yeah,
special.
was that episode 1?
Yeah,
I thought that was
it was the
episode
very end of episode 1 where
2. Okay, yes.
he slaps her butt.
If there was jail for this man, he would go.
He would already be in it. Like,
Alright,
holy crap,
well,
she's 16, bro. Calm down, man. You have 3 wives, too. Chill out.
so that's what I was.
That's what you were thinking about?
So in episode 1, at the end, we get a new Hashira, Tengen Uzui, who has been only seen in like the last 2 episodes of the first season. He, I think, only talked like once, but now he's fully introduced. He's introduced in such a weird way, as in like he's trying to just kidnap Hashira or like kidnap someone, which is I find so weird. But with that, he gets to meet the whole Tanjiro crew, and I don't know about you, but that ending scene, that's kind of cold.
Where
We gotta
Inosuke and like
stand up.
Zenitsu are running at him.
Yeah,
That was super
yeah,
awesome.
bro, that's cold, bro.
Now, like
That's
knowing what we know
very
now,
cold.
though, like they would have got fucking demolished if they would have
Yeah,
even
no,
tried. Like they would have got
it's
stomped. Especially after what like
okay.
episode 10 showed us. Oh god, no. Poor Tanjiro.
Yes.
Sun breathing ain't gonna help him there.
Yeah, we'll get into the episode 10 a little later, but I think right now it would be decent to somewhat transition to episode 2
Yeah,
right
it's
about
we've
now.
we've one more thing from episode 1. It's like I like the fact that Tengen's like, "All right, you guys, you're gonna help me infiltrate the entertainment district, and I am a god. You see, I'm the god of festivals, and yeah, you follow me because I'm god." And they just go to the entertainment district, and then that's the end of episode 1. You ready to transition to
Yes.
episode 2?
Let's transition to episode 2.
Episode 2.
Episode 2, infiltrating the entertainment district.
Yeah,
So,
so.
this episode 2, kind of like a little bit of a recap slash it goes into a bit more detail of
You cut out what?
when they meet Tengen
There you go.
or Uzui, whichever one. It's the episode where they bring in the detail of why Tengen Uzui is there and why he needs. Apparently, he's requesting it. It has to be a female Hashira, if I'm correct.
Well, it was a
I
female
believe that-
demon slayer.
Yes, he needs a female demon slayer, not a Hashira, but a female demon slayer.
I'm sure Hashira would have helped though, definitely.
So, we already talked about it a little bit before, but yes, he did try going to the butterfly mansion or I guess it's pronounced like it's the insect breathing girls.
Yeah,
domain.
Shinobu. Yeah. But yeah, she tried to steal.
Yeah. So,
And he decided, all right, I guess I'll still settle you guys. And then Tanjiro gang get to cross dress
yes.
with
so
Inosuke looking the best.
Right, Inosuke. They did Inosuke dirty, but
Inosuke was built for that role, bro.
they already practically went about that. Yeah, but solely the whole point of episode 2 was them getting the details of what the mission was gonna be, and practically they signed themselves up for a mission that they either A, probably will regret, or B, will further them. We'll discuss that later on, but
Yeah.
this is where I would say is the actual true starting a bit of like the entertainment district.
Yeah, the episode 1 was just connecting the two bridges. And then episode 2 is, we're on the other side now.
Yeah, it's all about that more detail, more like what are we gonna do. I think episode 3 is where
we start to get into some
get
hot
to
water.
see what the actual entertainment district is. Yes.
So
I
yeah,
think without further ado, I think we should probably transfer over.
yeah, episode 2 there isn't much of note except everyone starts cross dressing, including Tengen. Like that's about it, and then they just start their job. Episode 3. Now you have to remind me what happened in episode 3 because I forgot.
Okay. Episode 3 is What Are You? And I'll go ahead and read a little description because, you kind of forgot. But to be honest, from the little screenshot I see, it doesn't really help. And it also cuts off a bit. But the little description of episode 4 is after arriving at the entertainment district, Tanjiro and his comrades infiltrate the houses where Uzui's wives, Sama, Makio, and Hinatsuro, we're gonna forget that, work. And then while undercover, this is where Inosuke hears about information about Makio and how Makio has been shut in her room for a long day. With this one description, it already gives us a little bit of info about what the episode
Okay, and if I remember correctly,
That's why I
like,
don't read the descriptions. I just watch. But
yeah, I just watched
we can
it.
dive into.
We can dive into it
Yeah,
now, obviously. I'm pretty sure
yeah,
at the end of that episode, Zenitsu fights bitch face Daki. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that happens at like the very end, and then it leaves us a little cliffhanger. If I remember correctly. Yeah. Okay, I'm
yes,
right.
it does. I think.
Yeah, so Inosuke, oh my god, bro, Inosuke rocking that look, man. Gonna make me act up.
Oh boy, gonna make me switch sides. No, but
But yeah,
mm,
there's not much to note in this episode either. It's kind of just set up too. But like, we do get to see the beginning of the next, the upper six. I might as well say it. I mean, I
yes,
already gave a spoiler warning. We get to see upper six at first. All we see is a belt, and we hear her voice, but we see her silhouette. And then we finally get to see her wearing her Oirun. Oh my god, I probably butchered that. Her flashy
like
lady
boy.
clothes.
To be honest, I think that might have been
Might have been what?
for now reading a little bit of its description. But to
Oh,
be honest, episode 3 and episode 4 is kind of stuck within the same boat. So we can real quick cover both of those because
all right.
episode 3 it doesn't really cover all that much. All it does is shows us a little bit more of like the face value of Entertainment District, shows them arriving, cross-dressing, and it gives us the information that Uzui has 3 wives who are named Suma, Makio,
I'll
and
I'll
Hintsui,
have
whatever.
I'll have a transition scenes. I'll just put like 3 and 4 for this one, like episode 3 and 4. Okay,
Alright,
I see what you do
so
now.
yeah, so we could talk a little bit about episode 4 now.
Yeah, that's yeah. They're discovering a little bit more, and Zenitsu finally finds out, like, oh look, this is the demon that's terrorizing people, and my boy gets murked. My boy, he's
Yeah.
like, release her, and then he gets murked. Like she's like, I forgot what happened exactly. I'm pretty sure it's like she was bullying a little girl. Yeah, she was bullying a little girl and like hurt her really bad. And like, and it's just like, hey, stop that. and,
Big
then,
Sim.
and then he gets murked to hell. Like
Yes.
my boy got bitch slapped through some walls. Which kind of sucks because I'm
Bit
trying to see
more
Zenitsu get
info
better.
on this as well. Yes. Uh, During the time of when Zenzetsu like finds her and like help prevents like the I guess you can say abuse or bullying or whatever of the little girl. Um, they both kind of make that little connection of oh crap, they know who I am type thing. So at the end of the night, Zenetsu actually goes missing,
hmm
and Tanjiro and Inosuke actually meet up to talk about what they found and all that. And within the same episode, Inosuke also charges into a room that was supposedly supposed to be this Makio chick's room, and she finds it empty and destroyed and absolutely everything. So he obviously realized that Tanjiro and Zenitsu never appears, and Tengen's there,
Yeah,
and he
Tengen shows up.
practically
I
says,
remember.
yeah, and he practically says like, I don't think you should expect your bud to come back.
He also,
Practically.
I remember also he said, like, you guys should definitely go home now. This is way too dangerous for you guys.
Yes.
And thinking about
And
that now, like with the context we have, it's better that they stayed. It is a lot better that they
yeah,
stayed.
um, though I think a lot of the juicing stuff is actually in this. It all starts in this episode 5. So I think we
You
might
ready
want
to
to
transition?
transition
All
to
right.
5.
Episode 5.
Episode 5 is things are gonna get real flashy, and just by that title alone,
Yeah.
like you can probably expect that shit actually gonna get real flashy. Thing is, do you remember possibly what episode 5 is, or do you need a little description?
I need a little description.
Alright, so as we already said, Tengen advised them that they should probably just leave the entertainment district and that they should just let him handle the rest of it and he'll just find his wives.
Yeah.
Tanjiro and Inosuke actually just decide against that because they just, bro, they're bros. They can't leave Zenitsu like alone. They
They
need to
can't
go
leave the
find
dirt,
him.
bro. Yeah.
And so that same night when they had that meeting and they were told, uh, that's when they were gonna just uncover themselves, saying that sorry, we're not actually women, we are men, and gonna leave their houses and search for Zenitsu. Um, and this is the point where at this night he meets, I think what she's not that big and important of a character, but it's like one of the housewife things, an Orion,
Yeah,
whatever
one of the
they're
Orions.
called.
Yeah.
Yes, and practically she just was really nice about it, and he said like if you can stay here. She's like probably one of the best ones out of the houses.
Yeah.
Um, but unfortunately, right after he leaves, she actually gets abducted
By
by a
Daki.
demon.
I remember
Yes,
now.
Daki. Daki is the demon that right now is what we only know as ruling the entertainment district, and this is when Tanjiro leaves and he picks up the scent of the demon. He follows it and he practically goes back to where it starts and he finds that she's gone.
Yeah.
So they're just missing a very important person.
And I don't know if this is episode 5 or 6, but there's another thing that happens.
You can try saying it.
All right. Daki Muzan.
That's episode 5, I believe.
Yeah, I think it should be the end of episode 5. If not, who the fuck cares? Um. Okay, so I liked this a lot because it shows that Muzan isn't just angry at all of them all the time. And for some
Yeah.
reason, Muzan finds Daki as like a promising child and like all that. And I'm like thinking about it now with I'll just go ahead and say it, it's spoilers. With Gyutaro existing, why did he put so much value in her? And
Yeah.
I heard people like saying online, it's because she didn't want to anger Gyutaro. Well, why? Muzan would destroy Gyutaro. I don't see a reason for him to not make Gyutaro mad. Like
Yeah,
I don't know why he was so
uh,
nice to her. Maybe he's
it's
just a
weird
simp.
because I find that every demon Muzan meets, it always creates this like kind of effect or this leering of like you can tell that like two powerful beings are like right here, but you can obviously tell which one is like
Way stronger.
easily can snap the neck like the next one.
Yeah, it's interesting how Muzan at least doesn't treat every demon like they're his slave. It's like you're my slave, and then Daki's like, hey, little princess, how you doing? So I'm gonna trust you with this little assignment here. I think you can do it. You know, you're my little princess.
So, hmm?
Daki's Muzan's Discord kitten. Kitten, can you destroy the Hashira for me?
Don't be angry. Like no.
Don't be angry.
But yeah, that's practically the Muzan and Daki meet up. That was like a big suspenseful thing. Um, I believe that was actually at the end of episode 5.
Yeah, I think so too. Because like I think right at the end of episode 5, I think Tanjiro catches up with her, if I remember correctly. Like Muzan leaves.
From what I see, episode episode 6 is like where a lot of this stuff happens.
Yeah, where Tanjiro like pulls up and starts fighting.
Yeah, so we should probably transition to 6 and we can dive more into
Episode 6. Alright, episode 6.
Episode 6 is Layered Memories. And just by the title alone, that might just sound really weird and ominous until this is the part where deal with Daki and Tanjiro actually meeting head to head for the first time and practically initiating a battle. And in this battle, Tanjiro practically soon comes to realize that he can't do bad shit.
Like he realizes, water breathing isn't compatible with my body, which is a callback, by the way, to it was an episode where the swordsmith first meets Tanjiro, and he's like, "Hey, You're part of the fire family. Like, you're part of a family that works with fire a lot. You should be compatible with that, so your blade should turn red. I mean, he turned black, but, like, you get the point. They're playing a callback,
Yeah.
which is super cool.
So with that callback as well, and him figuring out that like it's not really worth it. This is where he, oh boy, like this is where he actually pops off. Would consider the season one. I would say this is where, in this episode 6, Tanjiro releases like what I would say is season one's biggest like anticipated or the most go to like, oh shit, this is the best animated episode ever.
Yeah, it's
This
up there.
is when this is when he finally releases or reuses the Hinokami Kagura for like
Or
the
sun breathing.
first slash second ever time, or sun breathing practically, which he would soon come to realize.
Like, he actually uses it, like, he just, like, pull it out as a last-ditch effort, one-time use move, because it would drain his body. But then we get a flashback, and he's been training with Hinokami Kagura, because he's had this realization before that his body will probably be more compatible with it. And,
Yeah.
like, he gets better with it. He's, like, using it. My favorite move out of all of them so far is, fake rainbow. Because,
Yes.
like, where he, like, I thought Tanjiro was dead instantly, then fake rainbow. I'm like, God damn. That was such a good episode, man.
So with him releasing the with him releasing the Hinokami Kagura in this episode, he's finally able to cut these belts he wasn't able to previously cut with the water breathing technique. So he's actually able to now stand a relative chance. And then there's this point where she keeps backing up, she keeps putting distance, and he's putting strain on himself. And then
Yeah.
it gets to this episode, or this one part where they're on top of a roof. And I already know he knows what I'm talking about. But on this fucking roof, my boy flips an absolute switch, and there's speed.
Oh, wait.
My-
That's you're going a little far. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, that's farther away. Right now he's putting strain and losing stamina.
No, but it is in episode 6.
Where she's like, you can't get to me in a second, and then really?
Yeah,
I thought that
in
happened later.
episode 6. No, bro.
Oh, wait.
looking at this description. And
Okay.
that's episode 6.
Okay, I'm pretty sure the normal part of the fight happens in the first half, and then something happens to
Yeah.
trigger that. Basically, what happens is Daki is getting a little bit pissed off, and she like, okay, I think this is actually episode 7. I'm telling you, because like something happens before this to cause that to happen, which causes that to happen. So I'm pretty sure we're on episode 7. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let me look it up. I'm sorry. I thought it stretched out a little farther. You were right. But basically, I'll just go over what happened because you forgot. I'll go over this part. So basically, as Tanjiro and Daki are fighting, the belt. Okay, so Inosuke finds where the belt thing that we saw,
Yes.
holding down people is, and he fights with them for a while, and he frees Zenitsu, he frees Tengen's wives. And, they're battling this belt, and they're realizing, oh no, this is hard. And then Tengen pulls up again, puts his ear to the ground, and is like, fighting? And then he bursts in and one-shots the demon. He one-shots the belt demon part, and then the belt goes running back to Daki. And at first, Tengen's like, we're not chasing that belt, are you stupid, Inosuke? I'm your boss, I'm a god, you're not. And then his wife's like, we should chase it for it causes more havoc. Okay! Fucking simp.
My boy has a way of just like making shit, bro.
He makes
It's
stuff
like-
better, I swear.
My boy like out noises.
Everyone else.
He
He is a
like,
sound Hashira.
he's louder than Inosuke. Like that's a feat in its own. That's a feat in its
For
own.
real. And
But yes,
the belt goes
is-
running back to Daki, and Daki's hair, when they basically she fuses with the belt, and she goes back to full power, where her hair turns white, and she has more power now. And Tanjiro, this is the second half of Daki versus Tanjiro. He is getting a little bit destroyed, and it gets to the point where she's going on a power trip, and a person comes out while they're fighting, and he's like, "Hey, stop making so much noise out here! Goddamn, people are trying to sleep." And then Daki cuts up a bunch of, she uses her power to slice up a bunch of buildings, and she cuts off this dude that was yelling at her arm. And
Yeah, she zero chill.
yeah, and then Tanjiro got slashed like in a very fatal area. He's got slashed in his shoulder down to his chest, and that's pretty intense. And he's getting mad. He's like, "Wait, you just did that to innocent people?" And then he gets this like enraged state. Like, and then he gets super powerful, and he starts dunking on Daki's head.
Like
At this point in the fight,
bloodshot eyes.
at this point in the fight, it like holy crap, he goes demon mode, dude. And like, there's a scene that Josh was just talking about where he has her on the ropes, and he pins down all of her belts at once, and they have quite a bit of distance between each other, and she's like, "The second you release off my belts, I'm going to slash you, okay? You will not be able to cover this distance in a second." And you know what my boy does? He covers that distance in less than a second, bro. He went shing 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 and almost cuts off her head. But we figure out that this entire time he was forgetting to breathe. And his brother is like, "Hey, breathe." And he's like
And of air, bro, breathe.
"Hey bro, breathe, Lamau, you're gonna die."
No, my boy like traversed the distance. Like
He almost cut off her head, which, now that I think about it, would have been really bad if he cut off the head at that point. It would have turned out a lot different if he was able to do that, because Gyutaro would have come out and wrecked his ass before Tengen got there. That it's a good thing that didn't happen, at least. That's good. I'm glad that didn't happen. And then
boy like traversed it like if he was using like the thunderclap and snorting cocaine at the same time.
but like a lot of things happen this episode. Cause like
yes,
basically he's on the ground, right? He's like, "Uh-oh, I can't help myself now. I guess I'm just dead." And then Nezuko comes out. And
that's episode 7.
Oh, it is? Okay, my bad. Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry. You ready to transition?
That's episode 7.
Any last thoughts before we transition?
Yes, we'll quickly transition over.
Oh, man, we get to talk about Nezuko. Anyways. Episode 7!
Episode 7 is transformation. And just by that title alone. Transformation. What type of transformation? We've already seen Daki transform. What else can be transformed? It's the only people within shot half that time is Tanjiro and Nezuko in a box. So who's there? My boy's he's half passed out, half not passed out, but like he can't move. But there's a little someone we haven't seen at all in the first like 6 episodes. I wonder who that is. I wonder. So, as my boy is getting dunked on, dumpster clapped, and he is now he almost coughed and choked and almost died. This is where Nezuko comes out and she bees, I don't know.
Like, she comes out,
She's practically a gangster ass sister, bro.
Yeah. And, like, she comes out, she gets a little bit of action, and then what happens is, like, Daki pushes her away. She's not strong enough yet, and she's like, "You're weak. That didn't even hurt. You suck. And I cut off all your stuff, and it's going to take you a while to regenerate that, so I guess you just die now." But then Nezuko pulls the table turn of the century and transforms and sends a bunch of people to jail.
Yes. To be honest, you probably, if you even haven't gotten to this part of Demon Slayer and we somehow already spoiled, episodes for you, you've 100% probably seen this little transformation we are talking about. In this transformation, she's taller than normal. She's a bit stronger than normal. And obviously, something growed.
Oh no.
Stuff grows. And I won't lie, was it fully necessary to add it?
No.
No, not at all. Not at completely all.
Bro, risking me going to jail just to show some Nezuko. What the hell?
Oh no, no, no. This is where we get the twist of all. And this is where in this same episode, or not even in the same episode, but whenever Daki, the person we've been talking about, the demon, whenever she was introduced, no one knew about it, I think, besides manga readers and like some people who picked up on it. But this entire time, she's been saying, what, she's 13?
She's like 12 or 13.
12 or 13. But like how this is important, we'll discuss later. But like it still doesn't like it doesn't sit in my brain where how that age is just there. But yes, in this episode it is mainly just Nezuko getting her moment of shine, her shining moment. She needed it.
Mm-hmm.
The one of the biggest things that I dropped everything and went oh shit for was part of this transformation. When she got stronger, she broke her mouthpiece.
Oh
She
yeah.
broke her seal. The one thing that can stop her from going outrage demon mode and even possibly eating people this entire time was this one mouthpiece that was put on like episode 1, episode 2 of the season 1. And she just shatters it.
I seriously thought she was gonna start talking, but no, she didn't. She just goes. "Ah, no."
He goes full Zombo, no English mode, like no Japanese mode. She just goes. And like while doing this, she's actually able to clap Daki a bit.
Mm-hmm. And
And oh, go.
all right, all right. So I guess to the point where Tanjiro's still gasping for air, and then his brother's like, "Save Nezuko, or she ain't gonna be the same anymore. She's just gonna be a feral demon, and you'll fail." And he's like, "Oh crap, you're right, brother. That's dead and somehow talking to me." And he runs over and he tries his hardest to stop her. Like he puts himself on the line, holding her down, and he's just trying everything in his power to stop her. And it obviously isn't working. And at this time, Daki got set on fire by Nezuko's blood demon art, which only hurts demons. So she gets up, right? And this was a tense scene. She like gets up, walking towards her face is like burned up, and she's saying it's hard to regenerate because of how much power it has behind it. And she's like, "How are you this strong? You know what? I'll just kill you both." And she like starts walking towards them, and I'm like, "Uh-oh." But then the table turn. Tengen comes and speeding through and slices off Daki's head instantly. You don't even see it happen. What are you gonna say?
And no, this was like a good part to add because I think right here is when it also slowly starts transitioning to episode 8. Because episode 8 does a little bit of a recap of this.
Okay.
But it adds in a very important person, which like 2 episodes ago you kind of spoiled, but like we're now able to talk more.
You're acting
about
like
it now.
you're acting like this is their main source of watching the anime.
Yeah, I know, but like if they for some reason if they haven't at all, it's good. But that episode 8 at the start of it, it's practically like a little bit of a recap of that, and it kind of goes more in detail of like how he's trying to practically, I guess, what was it, like prevent Nezuko from doing stuff. But
Yeah.
I think we should be able to transition to episode 8 now because I think we practically covered everything.
In that episode, that certain person we're talking about appears, like
Yes.
near the end. So you want to tie up those ends first, and then go to episode 8, or do you just want to go to episode 8 and consider it the recap?
No, episode 8 is actually when he appears.
Yeah,
From what I'm seeing out here.
That might be true. I saw screenshots where he appears at the end of 7. Episode 8.
Episode 8 is Gathering. just gathering. That's just the name of it.
Basically, what happens is, he's like, just sing her a lullaby or something, man. Like, and then Nezuko knocks him out of the building. It was out of a multi-story, like not multi-story, like a 2-story building. So they land on the ground. I'm like, oh, that's gonna hurt. And he's trying to calm her down, and he's like, wait, lullaby. And he does a big butt pull, and he's like, oh, I remember this random lullaby my mom used to sing. He sings it, Nezuko cries like a little bitch, and then goes back to sleep. Now, let's get to the good part. So basically...
Yeah, wait, the good part are you talking about the good part of like the other half of episode 8, or just
yeah, that was kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie. They stretched that out a little bit too long. The whole Nezuko getting back under control, but it's fine. It's whatever.
It's cute as fuck though, because when Nezuko is getting like restrained, and he does end up singing her a lullaby, she cries.
Yeah, that was pretty sad.
Tanjiro does a little flashback that Nezuko almost never really cries. She was like, she encourages others to not cry, but she doesn't really cry herself. But she actually starts crying at the end of this lullaby, mainly for the fact that while she's getting sung this lullaby, she feels like the memories a bit of her being with her mother that is unfortunately dead.
Yeah.
And so she starts crying, and oh my god, she turns into like her younger self. She turns back into like baby Nezuko, and like, bro, I must say, I'm a simp, must protect. No violation of anything, must protect. like must protect, hands down. Cutest damn thing I've probably seen in all of Demon Slayer, 100%.
Anyways, now for the good part, the epic part. So basically, Tengen, earlier I said Tengen cut off her head. And she's whining still. And he turns around, he's like, you just die already, man. Just die no flashy death. Stop talking to me. And she's like, you said I wasn't Upper Demon 6. I am. And he's like, no, you're not. You're not strong enough to be Upper Demon 6. The hell? He's like just saucing on her, right? And then he realizes, why isn't she disintegrating? Why is she still here? And then she screams a certain word that when she screamed it, not only did I get goosebumps, but I was like, oh no. Like, I literally out loud said, oh my god. And basically, she yells, Oni-chan! And out comes this weird-looking demon out of her back. And Tengen, this guy reacts really fast. So he's like, uh-oh, I better cut this guy's head off. So he goes for his head immediately the second he comes out. But the thing is, the second he tries, he deflects it and cuts him on his forehead. Even though he has a little bandana on his head, he still gets cut, right? And we finally get to see this dude, this green-haired, skinny, ugly dude. And he's like, well, you survived. I was like actually putting some force behind that one too. Lucky you, lucky you. And this, my friends, is Gyutaro, upper 6, the actual upper 6. Technically 1/2. If anything, I'd say it's like 2/3 of upper 6 because he's definitely the stronger one.
Yeah,
and Daki's the final one.
I kind of find it odd how they did like 2 parts of an upper 6, but we'll allow it. We'll allow it.
I think it was fine because like she had like no life force left. I'll explain that when we get to the story, when the backstory in episode 11. But anyways, Gyutaro, we get a lot of his personality in like the end of an episode. Like he's basically saying like he's complimenting Tengen. He's like, "Wow, you have such a beautiful complexion on your skin. You have such manly muscles. Your cock is probably long. It's like you're ladies' man,
bitches, don't you?
You get all the women, don't you?" And then he says, "Well, yeah, I am a ladies' man. That's a no-brainer. I got 3 wives." And he's like, "You have 3 wives?" He starts like scratching his face. He's like, "No, that should not happen. No one deserves 3 wives." And basically,
some bitches for me. Like, come on, man.
I like how that's the thing that got Gyutaro to attack too. The fact that he brought up 3 wives.
Like, oh my god.
He's like, no, that's the straw that broke the camel's back. You're getting killed now. And we get some great fight scenes. Like, basically, he has to defend the people, and they aren't evacuated at all yet. So he's defending people while fighting them. And he's like, this is not going to be a walk in the park, he says to himself. And, like, he pulls some moves off on this demon. Like, it was super cool. Like, especially when he pulls out some, like, bombs. And he, like, slashes them over to him.
Like smoke bombs almost. And no, they're actual.
And, like, his sound breathing, it, like, allows him to visualize things that have sound, which is similar to Inosuke's breathing, where instead of sound, he can just see everything. It's, like, super similar. It's, like, I like that. That's super cool. That is super awesome.
I think we should probably transition 9 then, since we're on the hype of, you know, enter a new challenger, Gyutaro. Hey, come on, no?
Episode 9?
Episode 9 is defeating an upper ranked demon.
Now we're in the boiling hot water now. So we just found out, 2 demons. And frickin' Tengen was like, oh, we should probably cut off both their heads at the same time then. That's why she didn't die. And Tanjiro is there. He gives him some backup. And then Inosuke and Zenitsu show up. And now the whole gang is together. They're ready to fight this crap. Now, they break off into 2 different groups at the very beginning. But, like, first, obviously, Tengen got cut. And if you get, like, cut with a scythe, he reveals that you get poisoned. And Tengen, being the sassy fellow he is, he was like, well, poison doesn't affect me because I'm a shinobi of the Hidden Leaf Village. He didn't say the last part, but you know.
I'm a Jinchurikin, my boy.
Jinchurikin?
He is secretly like the 7-tailed beast or whatever the fuck. Welcome to Naruto review episode 9. Like what?
But basically, he's talking all this smack. Tengen is, and he's like, "My life is a party, you know. Poison doesn't affect me. I'll destroy both of you." And they're like, "Stop bluffing. The poison's in your system. You're gonna die." And they're like, "No." And yeah, you know. So they get into the fight, and they break off into 2 separate groups. Inosuke drags Daki outside, and Inosuke follows behind. While Tanjiro and Tengen and the 3 wives, we'll see that in a little bit later in this episode, you know, they break off into the group that fights Gyutaro. And basically, Gyutaro's like, here, let me give you a little bit of power, Daki. And he gives her one of his eyes, like basically Naruto style, and puts an eye on her head. One of his eyes on her head, because obviously Gyutaro is strong enough to handle his own with one eye. But Daki is not. So yeah, these 2 groups are fighting. And first we get some Zenitsu and Inosuke action. Zenitsu and Inosuke, they're finding it hard to push, you know? They can't really push her that far. So they're like sensing their breathing together. Yeah, they're on the defensive. They're trying to sense their breathing together and, you know, break through the offense that Daki has. And while they're doing that, Tengen and Tanjiro, they're out here fighting Gyutaro, and they're realizing this guy's super strong. And, you know, Tengen is obviously unable to break through. Tengen and Tanjiro are not able to break through on their own. So, you know, they try some kunai with wisteria. The 3 wives have wisteria, like, stuff, and they coat it into kunai. And we figure out that stuns the demon, but not for that long, but it stuns them for long enough for them to do something. And multiple attempts are made to cut off Gyutaro's head. None of them succeed. And eventually, Tengen has to, like, break off into a separate group because one of Tengen's wives is being threatened. And Tanjiro saves that Tengen wife, you know. Then he has to go help Inosuke and Zenitsu with Daki, with distracting her. And he does that, right? And my boy Inosuke comes in with the saws. He comes in, saws off her head, grabs it, and starts making a run for it. He's like, nah, my boy. I'm getting out of here with this thing. They call me the circular saw.
The circular saw.
But unfortunately, while Tengen was brawling with Gyutaro managed to pull the upper hand on him, cut off one of his hands, and leave him there to bleed out. He hasn't bled out yet, obviously. And then Gyutaro runs and saves Daki by impaling Inosuke with one of his scythes. And then Daki regenerates and does a big old slash, and Zenitsu has to, push Tanjiro out of the way. He's like, "Get out, Tanjiro!" He pushes him, and then Zenitsu gets caught in a bunch of rubble, and Tanjiro is able to defend the box with his sister and land on the ground. For now. And then at the end, there's like a flashback or something like that.
Yes. It's. I didn't want to actually stop because you were going a pretty good flow with it.
Yeah.
But you actually covered episode 9 and 10.
Wait.
The ending of 10. The ending of 10 was practically that last part you just said. Zenitsu pushes Tanjiro off.
No.
And does.
No, that's 9 because 11's the last episode. And at the end of 9, Zenitsu pushed him off. At 10, it's where Tanjiro's running away from Gyutaro, and I remember this part for sure. I've seen the episodes like 10 times. So this is definitely still within episode 9.
Okay, well, these descriptions then do not help. They're very misleading. I have on my phone. But
I just closed it because I remember everything else after this. There's like a backstory with Tengen and his wives, doing stuff around the stuff. That's not that important. No one cares.
I would also like to throw in that during that whole fight of Daki and Inosuke and Zenitsu and all that, my boy Zenitsu's sleeping. my boy's been sleeping since he got rescued like 4 episodes ago.
Man, he's taking a power nap, bro. Like an extended power nap.
I mean, we all know from episode 1 when Zenitsu passes out or goes to sleep, he turns into a different beast. But like, goddamn, my boy has been asleep for fucking forever.
This beast has been out for a while.
And he's been just sitting here, chilling, sleeping, fucking thunderclapping.
Oh yeah, last thought before we move on to 10, for me at least. There's a scene where Zenitsu, when he drags her up to the roof, he says, "Apologize for that girl." And that was an awesome callback and a great character moment for Zenitsu. For sure, I actually liked him. That's rare.
Yeah.
Zenitsu, but I actually really loved him during this arc. He was really cool. Anything else to say before we move on to the best episode?
No, we should be able to go on.
Episode 10! Oh my
Episode
god.
10.
Oh my.
Never gonna give you no.
Do you want like
10.
Which half do you I call the Tengen Uzui half. You can like cover the first half where Tanjiro is running away. I want to talk about Tengen and his sauce.
Tengen and his sauce? That sounds so bad.
I know.
Actually, I won't lie. I think I might need to reevaluate this little description.
Do you want me to cover episode 10 then?
No, I mean, to be honest, I thought you actually covered episode 10, but I guess not.
No, that was definitely 9, I remember. We're on 10 right now. Because episode 11 is the backstory, remember? Like the Gyutaro backstory. And that's like the only thing that happens in that episode, and then, there's a hint for an upper D. All that. We'll get to that.
Okay, so episode 10, just real quick, is actually going to be Never Give You Up. Or Never Give Up. I don't know why I said Never Give You Up. I made the joke before and then it sticks.
Never gonna give you up.
Well, I'm just gonna real quick read the description of the episode, and we'll piece it together from there, and then you can carry on the other half of the episode.
Oh yeah.
The describing. From what I'm seeing as the description is, Tanjiro and Uzui have been separated by Gyutaro's demon blood art. As Tanjiro joins the struggling Zenitsu and Inosuke, they manage to decapitate Daki at last thanks to their coordinated barrage of sword strikes. So this is where I thought you covered it, but real quick, we could just say it. Yes, they were split apart. My boy was sitting here chilling, 1v1ing. Was it Tengen over here 1v1ing?
Gyutaro.
Demon.
Yeah.
Yes. And, like, Tanjiro realizes, like, no progress is being made, so we have to find something. And then, like, Daki's over here somehow, like, lashing out these belts, being able to full on block out the whole Inosuke and Zenitsu. And whenever they fight, it's just straight up, um, how about we all just breathe at once? With the power of friendship, we can do this.
The power of friendship.
And this is it's an odd scene when they fight, but it's like in a way that I like it, and it's animated in a way that makes it just seems a lot better. And like they all just attack at once. And you said it before as well. Inosuke does end up like chainsawing her head off.
This is definitely
practically.
episode 9, Josh. I'm telling you right now.
No, this is episode 10. It
I'm
says.
telling you this is episode 9, because the end cliffhanger is Zenitsu pushing him off the roof. And then episode 10 beginning is, Tanjiro running away from Gyutaro.
After that, he says, yeah, he gets stabbed through the heart almost, or isn't it? Fucking hell. I'm losing it all. It appears that Inosuke is stabbed through the heart. Zenitsu is slapped and now covered in a shit ton of building rubble. He pushed Tanjiro out. Now he's protecting the box. And then Tengen is or was now. He appears to be bleeding out or bled out. He looks like he's dead. He's missing an arm in this hand. But yes, all that was roughly covered in episode 9. In episode 10, he regains consciousness, and he finds out that all the buildings and everything have been broken and burning.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's waking up in his own hell. And then the first things he sees is like Daki and Gyutaro sitting there.
The very first thing he sees is Gyutaro all up in his face, like, oh, you're still alive.
Yes. He's like, you must be one lucky, unlucky ass boy. And so what happens is Tanjiro is now he picked up the box that's holding Nezuko, and he does what we believe at first sight is practically running for his life and doing practically a pity runaway, because he doesn't have the strength to wield his sword right now. He barely have enough strength to run/walk. But
Yeah.
Gyutaro finds this entertaining. He's like, "Oh yes, keep on doing this." So he runs, and then he gets to this part where he has to stop, and he sits there.
Well, what happens is he's running for a little bit, then Gyutaro super speeds next to him and kicks him into a burning building.
Yeah, and at this building, it's built up to make it seem like my boy is at his ends, where he's gonna die. Does he have any regrets? My boy looks like he's bowing his head down. Or
He was looking straight up.
He's bowing his head down. And then he looks straight up, and Gyutaro thinks, "Oh wow, you're such a manly man," because he makes it seem like you're holding your tears back. My boy just
He says,
my boy's like a
no!
fucking rhinoceros. My boy's a rhinoceros, bro. He just practically said, "No, I was just waiting for this damn moment." And he just swung his fucking head forward. And he practically almost gave a fucking demon a concussion.
No, actually, technically not, because Gyutaro's like, that didn't hurt at all. Wait, why is my body not moving?
Yeah, it's like, my boy, like, he actually, like, knocked the whole brain cell out of him.
You want me to...
You can carry this on, but real quick, as soon as he knocks his head, this is where what we believed what happened doesn't actually happen. Everything is different. Zenitsu, he still asleep, so he's in his badass form. So he thunderclaps out of the building, and so now it's Tanjiro and Zenitsu. And you can unravel where it goes from there because you have the hype to actually do it.
Oh, yeah. So, the thing you missed is that Tanjiro actually found... the reason he was running the entire time was that he knew where one of the kunai with Wisteria was hidden. Well, not hidden, where it was. He ran, and basically, he threw the kunai, but to make sure, like, the scent was, like, disguised, since you could probably smell the wisteria, he threw a bunch of random stuff he found to disguise the scent. and the poison didn't take effect yet. And then the second that Tanjiro sees, he headbutts him, so he falls on the ground while the wisteria is kicking in. And then my boy's like, "Yeah, 1 in a million chance, bitch!" And he swings his sword like his life depends on it, which it very much does. And he tries to behead him right then and there. And then Zenitsu sees this. Okay, so first off, Daki attacks him, right? He's like, "No, you cannot get beheaded by this lowlife." And she launched her little belt, but then Zenitsu, he gets up out the ground and says, "Godspeed!" And he's over here using Godspeed. And he's pushing her, right? And he's like, "I have to behead her before my legs run out of strength or I can't use my Godspeed anymore." And he's zipping around trying to behead her. And while Tanjiro's pushing for his life, but he can't he can't decapitate him. And then eventually, Gyutaro is able to remove the kunai, and he starts slowly regaining his strength back, where he releases his blood cycles. And he pushes his sword back, and then puts Tanjiro on the complete defensive. And Tanjiro, being pushed backwards, obviously, he's running backwards. Gyutaro is launching all of his attack force on him, and slowly getting stronger and faster by the second as he's regaining his power. And then he gets to full power. And Tanjiro's like, "I have to try something." And then Gyutaro, in a little enraged state, he yells, "You little brat!" And then he swings his little scythe, and it almost takes out one of Tanjiro's eyes. However, my boy, the goat of the entire arc, Tengen Uzui, stands back up, poisoned and with one arm, blocks the stupid scythe and blocks the other scythe so he can't hurt him at all. And then he yells, so he forces him back, right? And he yells, "This is the final act! Let's go! I perfected my technique!" And I kid you not when I say this, my boy turns his attack into a mixtape. He turns Gyutaro's attack into a song and deflects it completely. And obviously, at this point, if I was Gyutaro, I'd rather get chewed out by Muzan than fight this man any longer. I'm sorry. I'd rather get beat up, kicked into the ground by Muzan, than get my attack turned into a mixtape. Gyutaro, oh my god, bro. He gets pissed. He's like, "Do not give me this crap!" And the best fight scene in the entire show, hands down, I don't care what other fight scenes you've seen, the best fight scene in the entire show, where Tengen Uzui is duking it out with an upper rank demon with one arm and poisoned, and keeping up with him. And you see flashes across your screen. Me and Josh were watching it on a shitty phone screen, and we could still see how good the animation was. Cracked phone screen. Great. The screen protector's cracked. But we were still in awe on how beautiful it looked. And they drew close-ups of their faces yelling. "Ah!" And oh my god, I swear to god, bro, I nutted in my pants when I saw that. And basically, I forget who says this in the episode. Someone says, if this... Oh, I think it was Tanjiro. Tanjiro was like, "If this goes on any longer, Tengen's going to reach his limit, and Gyutaro is going to win this clash eventually." So my boy Tengen creates an opening for Tanjiro by rushing him, right? He finds an opening, he stabs him, and carries him forward so he can't move. And Tanjiro, he realizes, this is my chance, this is the only chance we're going to get. He jumps in the air, uses Hinokami Kagura one last time, and hits Gyutaro's neck. He still can't chop through it. And Gyutaro's like, "What makes you think that you're gonna behead me now when you couldn't do it earlier, when I was weakened?" But pause on that for a second. Wait, no, don't pause yet. Because basically, Tanjiro summons a form. He has a new transformation we don't know the name of. We don't know anything about it yet. We just know that his hair gets fiery. The scar on his face grows around his face. And his pupils white out. And he summons all the strength he has left in his body to try to chop off Gyutaro's head. And the sword is starting to slice through his neck. And Gyutaro's like, "I should be fine as long as Daki is not beheaded." Cut back to Daki. And Zenitsu is still trying. He's pushing this sword. He's like, I can't behead her, and my strength is running out. And then another goat of this arc jumps in the air,
Can't
blood
believe it.
spurting out of his body and his mouth. And he's like, you think that you stabbed my heart? I can shift my internal organs. And you think the poison is gonna do anything? No, I lived in the
My
mountains.
boy.
I'm immune to poison. Like, bro,
He really shifted his heart to where his liver was
he
real quick.
he pulled the biggest Uno reverse card. And then Inosuke helps Zenitsu by slamming his swords into Zenitsu's sword. And then they behead Daki. And as that's happening, Tanjiro is able to force his sword through Guitar's neck, and they both get beheaded at the same time. Alright, so the episode's almost over. Their heads go flying, right? And they start rolling, and then right before they stop, they're looking straight at each other. Like, they stop looking straight into each other's eyes. Like, did we really just get murked?
Did we just get absolutely bodied by three 12-year-olds? Like, what? No.
3 12-year-olds and a Hashira?
That's how
With one arm poisoned and one eye at this point because he slashed his eye. Did we get bodied by that? Like, bro.
We got bodied by half a man and 3 12-year-olds.
And this was kind of stupid, but at the same time, I get it. It's whatever. I feel like this shouldn't have happened because, like, it just gets reversed instantly when it happens. It's like a decent character moment, but, like, I think it should have just not happened. But basically, Tanjiro, he's like, he is spazzing out. And the poison is getting to him, and he just used all of his strength. He is severely injured. He is not doing well. He can barely hear at this point, too. And basically, Tengen, details added later in episode 11, so we'll leave that. But basically, through Tanjiro's point of view in this episode, the only thing Tanjiro sees is Tengen starting to stand up and yelling something frantically. He can't hear what it is, but he's yelling something. And he's like, did I fail to cut off his head? And basically, it cuts to Tengen after he's like asking himself these questions, yelling, run! Run. And then, basically, before Tanjiro cut off his head, he activated a blood circular slashes, like a full-powered one. And, how in games where it lags and you press the button and it takes a little bit to activate, and then it finally activates? That's what happens. And then the entire entertainment district just gets murked. Cutting up, and the end of the episode, it's sadness, and, oh no, what happened? We're going to have this little cutscene because we're assholes, and leave it in the biggest cliffhanger. And then...
Yeah, it's like it sucks. It's like, what the fuck happened? What happened?
And then this is they knew that they went a little bit too hard, a lot of dark stuff happened. They decided at the end of the episode to explain why Tanjiro has a hard forehead. Which was perfect, by the way. I loved that. That was amazing. It's like, Tanjiro got it from his mom.
Yeah, they just straight up dissed his mom. It's like, she used to fucking forehead wild boars. Like, hello?
They had Inosuke as like the model board. That was awesome.
It was wild. But yeah, Tanjiro was like completely out of breath during the whole end of that fight. I was like, my boy is like, he's either about to faint. He looks like he got punctured lung. My boy's just actually.
He's going.
Yes, but yeah, episode 10 does end off on all of that.
That is definitely the best episode of season 2, hands down.
And episode 11, which is
episode 11. I do.
Okay. Episode 11. I won't lie. I have to get it up. Episode 11 is it's no matter how many lives.
It's not as good as that episode, unfortunately.
It's not as good as an episode, but it's
It's not
a
bad. It's not
30
bad.
to like 45-minute long episode. So it's a long episode, which I personally like
I
how they
liked it.
start and end the series with it.
I liked it a lot. It was nice having a 30-minute episode, like a full 30 minute. That was super cool.
Yeah, the
Do you want to
30
go over what
minute
happens instantly?
yeah, we can cover a lot of the stuff that happens in episode 11. Um to be honest, it doesn't really like there's not really like major things. I mean, there's of course like a little bit of hints and such and like reasons behind certain stuff,
It
but
definitely
wait,
it like completes a bunch of setup that was set up at the beginning and starts a lot of new setup. It's really good.
yeah.
Like when Nezu. All right, so let's just get it off right here. The way that they solved this problem was kind of stupid. I'm not gonna lie, because basically, he releases the circular slashes, and Nezuko Spock's flying through the air. She slides out of the box and nullifies all of the slashes before they can hurt the gang with her demon art.
Yes.
I feel like if they were just
So
gonna do that instantly, they shouldn't have done the circular slash thing at all. But whatever.
so yeah, episode 10 is practically its end is the start of episode 11. It practically like almost every other episode so far, it does a little bit of a recap of like the last 3 minutes of the episode. So we
Yeah,
do see that, but we do get to see like what Tingen like what's running through Tingen's mind. He's like, "Oh shit, it's still here." And then he's looking around and he sees that Tandra is having problem breathing.
yeah. The
But
thing
at
he
this
was
point,
yelling
he's
was, "Run, Tanjiro! It's not over yet."
yes, and at this point, none of them are within like the rights, are not able to actually physically do anything. Out of breath, losing blood, both of them. Like it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, as he said, it goes off. It uses the blood arts. It cancels it. It still doesn't prevent Tanjiro still having this breathing problem, but he's able to calm down.
Yeah.
He has enough. He's able to calm down because I believe, if I'm correct, he gets a backflash.
He doesn't get a flashback. I don't think.
Or like he gets like a family member. I don't know, but
I don't
actually
think
no. I
so.
think it's actually Nezuko, like a little image of like Nezuko before like she transformed. I think it was like practically telling her to like everything's fine, you can breathe. But either way, um, he practically is able to now breathe. He's now properly calmed down, and he sees the whole time right next to him. Little baby Nezuko is just chilling there. Little 8-year-old Nezuko, little cutie.
Mm-hmm.
So she's chilling there, and then he practically realized he can't walk worth shit, but he's really worried about the gang. At this point, like Nezuko fucking rolled up her sleeves and said, "Let's fucking go." You,
No walking,
I
no
can carry,
problem.
I can carry you like you carried me the past 1,000 episodes, whatever. But so Nezuko carries her around, practically shows everyone. I think the first person they come across is Zenitsu. He's finally awake now, but he says he's just now waking up, and he's confused at where he's at, and he's hurting everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that must be a really shitty waking. But then he's able to get him up, and then he real quick is told that Inosuke is really in really bad conditions, and that he can hear that his heartbeat is getting more faint by the minute. And so with Tanjiro on her back, Nezuko runs over, and my boy's bawling. He's like, "You're dying, you're bleeding, but there's also poison. What should I do? What should I do? I can't send out a crow to get Shinobu the insect breathing poison. Yeah,
I can't get
antidote."
stuff from her. I can't wait
Yeah,
for the sun to come up because it's too late. What am I gonna do? There's nothing to do. I guess Inosuke just fucking dies.
yeah. It's at this point. It's like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry, I can't do anything." And fucking Nezuko's is like, "It's fine, it's fine." I put my
I
hand
feel like
there.
Tanjiro should have put two and two together because he was poisoned too, and he was somehow still alive and not being hurt by the poison. Like,
So practically at that point, he's crying still, like, oh no, he's gonna die. Nezuko puts her hand on him, and she practically, in her mind, screamed, "Let your heart ablaze of fire," whatever it was. My
Set your heart
boy,
ablaze.
my boy catches on fucking fire. But with the fire, it's Nezuko's demon blood arts
It
at
doesn't
its worst.
hurt. It doesn't hurt people. At least it only hurts
It doesn't
demons.
hurt. Yeah, it doesn't hurt. But it's actually able to cure the poison, and it's actually semi-healing.
It's
Okay.
barely anything, but I think it like stops the bleeding at least. So he's not just fucking bleeding
Uh,
out.
so with him fully recovered, Inosuke finally gets up.
I'm hungry.
He's hungry as shit, apparently. And Tanjiro hugs him like fucking nothing, and he's like, "Get the fuck away from
You're
me,
creepy, bro.
weirdo."
And oh my god, Tengen, he's like sitting there, and he's almost dead. He was poisoned first, and he's like,
Yeah.
"I have some last words to say." And fucking the bitch that looks like Inosuke keeps like crying and screaming, "Wah, wah, wah.
Like
I won't
Inosuke.
forgive the gods! Wah, wah, wah." And then Makio is like, "Shut the fuck up! Tengen's trying to talk!" And he's like, "I'm gonna shove rocks down your throat so you can shut up." And she's like, "Oh, Makio!" Like they're just making a bunch of noise. And Tengen's thinking, "Am I really not gonna be able to say my last words? My tongue's going stiff, bro." Like, come on, let me say my last words. And he's like, "Well, I guess I'm just gonna die without saying anything." And then Nezuko pulls up, and she sets him on fire, right? Like just what she did with Inosuke. And Inosuke bitch like grabs her, and she's like, "What are you doing? It is way too early to cremate him. What the hell? I'm gonna spank you." She says that. She literally says, "I'm gonna spank you."
That
And
you're being a naughty young lady or whatever the fuck.
something stupid like that. And then Tengen's like, "Stop. I'm healed." And then everyone, Tengen-sama! Everyone's crying. And then, like, as like Tengen and the gang are talking, you hear Inosuke bitch like saying, "Thank you, thank you." And, like, no one's hearing it but us. That was pretty funny. Like, yeah, that was a quick 180 you did there.
It doesn't actually appear till a bit later, but we'll dive into it because it's like the last minute, like, oh shit moment. But real quick to like practically, this is just half the episode we just talked about.
Yeah.
The other half dives in of it all starts as Tanjiro and all the like Tanjiro and Nezuko. They're like, oh shit.
We need to look for the heads.
We need to go find where the heads are just to be safe. Nezuko actually gathers the blood sample of the upper six, which is good.
Actually,
little flashback.
Actually, what happened is she's like, "Hey, there's blood." Tanjiro throws a rock, and Tanjiro actually runs over, I'm pretty sure, and grabs the blood. And we haven't seen this woman in a while, but I forgot her name.
Yeah.
I'm playing the game, and I just got past her arc, and I still forgot her name. The lady that the demon doctor, like, she said upper rank blood, like, so it makes sense why it took so long. And that also leads me to believe that the Bongo guy from way earlier in season 1 used to be an upper rank demon, which is pretty cool. Because like he gathered his blood sample and didn't gather any other blood samples until upper 6. So that was good tidbits of information. But yeah, go on.
So Tanjiro collects his blood sample. The lady's cat comes in and practically transports the blood samples, dips. At this point, it's like I still don't see the heads, and I'm pretty sure at this point he can hear bickering off in the distance. He goes over to the bickering, and he practically sees it's just the two heads. Like, I think at this point, they're arguing and mid-disintegrating. At this point, Daki's like, "Oh, you should have been able to beat them. You should have
protected
helped
me.
Like, you should have helped me and all that." And Yutaro just snaps. He's like, "If you weren't so useless, you weren't blah blah blah."
Stupid
and then
bitch.
And then she starts crying. She says she hates you. She doesn't actually even believe they're even relatives. Because the entire time they refer as little sister, big brother, all that. And she's like, "I don't even look like you." We probably don't even have the same blood. And they're just going off. Gyutaro, I think, says like, I didn't even want you to be my
Uh,
sister anyway.
he's like, yeah, he's like, why am I even your sister? And then Tanjiro's able to stop him before he says this, because this is a very human moment, because like we say stuff we regret all the time in an argument, and he almost says, I wish you were never born, but Tanjiro stops him before he says it and says, you do not feel that way. Stop talking like that. You're wrong. You love her, and you guys need to make up, because everyone else hates you for what you did. You only have each other. And I thought, oh my god, this is such a good character moment.
Yes. At this point, Tanjiro really knows how to be human. He knows how emotions work a lot. He can tell when
He
just
sees
by
a
the
lot of
sound.
himself in Gyutaro.
Yes. Because he is, in fact, an older brother himself. Nezuko's right there as the evidence, which is...
He yells, Ume!
Ooh.
And then
Yes.
he's like, wait, yeah, that was her name. Ume, not Daki. Daki's such an ugly name anyways. And then he's like, oh, well, Ume was too, because it was the virus that killed our mother, but... And then we get his backstory.
Yeah, so...
This backstory was really generic, but it was like also super good at the same time.
It was able to build up like how the characters came to be in like a very like nice and simple way. There's a specific scene though, which I mean it kind of threw me in the loop, but I still somehow get it. It's so the little backstory for these two is they're living in the slums in the entertainment district. So what can you imagine? He's exactly how he looks as a demon. He's kind of fugly.
Yeah, he is pretty fugly.
He's smelling, he's hungry, he's whatever.
His teeth are really bad.
Yes, but while doing this as well, he's in his family in like the slums. But in his family was I'm gonna use the word bestowed, but yes, they were bestowed a daughter in the family. And the family knew like when the daughter goes over, maybe it can be a source of income like through the entertainment district, which now thinking about it, that's really sad and bizarre. But I mean, life is how that is. But soon it does a little cut to show that she grows up. She's 13, 12, and in a lot of people's views, she's a pretty young girl. And give her time, she could probably be one really pretty, a really attractive girl in one of the houses during the entertainment district. But with this, he gets this pretty young girl, but at the same time, he's still looking like absolute garbage. So he has to come up with a way to like redeem himself. The way he redeems himself is he somehow becomes a thing. Like I think he describes it as like a debt collector.
Yeah, he becomes a debt collector.
And in that sort of way, he learns how to fight, and he actually learns how to use a sickle because he found a sickle laying around that was left. So he's able to become a good fighter. She's still able to look pretty and be able to do stuff. The whole main point of this, however, is one main story factor is one day apparently Donkey was given a hair clip. You would call that a hairpin. Nah. She was given a hairpin by this samurai that would you say he paid for her service? Is that a word?
Something like that. It's not exactly told. It's like she encountered him, and it's like a customer. Not sure.
Yeah, and with that, Daki ends up stabbing the samurai's eye out, and practically ends up running away. Unfortunately, though, the samurai and a few others find out where Daki is, and this is when Gyutaro is away and gone.
Mm-hmm.
She sadly set ablaze.
Yeah.
Like the fire in your heart.
She's like burned to the stake.
Yes. Gyutaro finds this pit that has smoke coming out of it, and he can I find it weird, but like I find it pretty nice as well how he can instantly tell that's like his sister, and like he's like hovering there, and she's still alive by like the grasps of nothing. She's still alive, and she's like burnt
She's in
everything.
pain.
Yes, but she's like she's alive after the burning, and with his sister in his arms, he's just trying to go around trying to find help until the samurai finds him and slashes him in the back.
Hmm.
And this is the point where like he can't really do much. He's now just left there to sit there and die with his sister practically in his arms. But
Oh no,
they
he.
actually
So basically, what happens is he slashed him, right, and then they're talking like it was an Oiran that like ordered the hit, kind of on Gyutaro at least. On we know why Ume got hit, and she's like, "Thank you so much. We'll talk about payment later." And he's like, "Well, let me finish him first, damn." And then Gyutaro super speeds over and stabs the Oiran in the brain, literally killing her instantly. And then we see a behavior. We didn't really see this behavior before, but we start to see this behavior that he shows when he's a demon, where he like starts complimenting his opponent, where basically he's jealous of them, and that's why he'll usually go after people is because they're better than him. And
yeah.
he like stands up and obviously he's like this is kind of like a, I guess you would call hyperbole, where he says, "Why are you like you're over here? You got all this nice stuff. Why are you complaining over a measly eyeball?" And he slashes that eye again, and I think that kills him because like
Yeah.
we don't see him again, and that looked like a pretty deep cut when Gyutaro did it. So I'm sure he's dead now. Well, he's definitely dead now, but like I'm sure he died to that. And basically, it was winter time now, and no one's accepting them, obviously. And he's running around trying to desperately get some kind of help for his sister and him. And he falls on the ground, and he's like, "Well, I guess it's just the end for us." And then a special appearance. The old Upper Six appears, and he says, "Hey, I'm really nice, you know." And this is ironic because he's holding a fucking dead body and eating it as he's talking. He's like, "I'm really nice, you know. And I see you're dying. No one likes you. You know what? Become a demon. And you can rise to the higher ranks just like me. One of the 12 Kizuki. Come on. I know
He
you want
actually
it."
he actually wishes that upon him. It's like I want to see if he can. It's not it's like you could probably do good as a demon. So while he's trying to give the blood, he's just wishing that upon him. Like I want to see you actually become a 12. I want to
I
see you
want to see you
become part
become
of.
one of the 12, maybe even surpass me. Who knows?
Yeah.
No, yeah, he
Um.
actually doesn't say that, and I know why he doesn't say that. I'm not going to say why he doesn't say that, but I know why he doesn't say that. But yeah, he doesn't say surpass. He says, "I want to see you like me."
Yes. I want to see you like me, and I want to see you within the 12. That's practically is all he says.
Episode 11 is definitely the juiciest. We're only like halfway done with all the stuff to explain. Holy crap.
It's one of the most, I would say, emotional building ones. Because right after that, he practically accepts being the demon. And then there enters a scene where he's like in a dark encapsulated room. Well, you can probably guess this is like right after he was already disintegrated and stuff, his like last final moments.
Yeah.
And in this dark scene, he's there, and 6 feet away, the young version of Daki as Ume appears, and she's practically like, "Where were you?" Or like, "Where are you going?" Like, big brother. And at this point, he's just like, "You could have done like way better without me." Like, so I just want you to go live, and I just want to separate from you. Like I'm like practically telling you, not I wanting you. And he's just walking off, And like it's such a big emotional scene because at this point he's just practically giving up, like like kind of on her. He just wants her to like go live a life, go do all this, not with him. But at this point as well, and which I kind of find, I say it a lot. I find it kind of cute, but this like younger version of her jumps on him practically and says, "No, I want to go wherever you go, big brother," type
No,
stuff.
we're together for life. You remember that pact we made, big brother? Nah, you can't separate me from now, bitch.
Yeah,
It
so
wasn't as
this
violent as
was
that, obviously, but
yeah, but this like is one big emotional scene, and at this point, it's like after hearing all this, like he's like, "You're right. We did say that. We did do this. We are the only ones like that can rely on one another." So in this dark place, that's presumably like their end together wise, like give him a little bit of a piggyback. They're it looks weird, but it looks good. They're practically walking to hell. They're walking
yeah,
in the direction that flames are everywhere.
yeah,
And this
it's
is where they
strange.
and this is and this is where this scene ends and cuts and it shows Tandra with his hands at where Guitar's head once was. And you can describe what the ending is from here on.
Oh yeah. All right. So from this point on, a bunch of setup happens, and I know a little bit of it, and it's just a bunch of setup. So basically, while this was happening, another Hashira pulls up. Obviously, super late, by the way, very late. The Snake Hashira pulls
Yes.
up, and he says, "Huh, you beat upper rank 6, the lowest one of them, but you still beat upper rank. I praise you." And Tengen's like, I don't want your praise, bitch. And he's like, so, what are you gonna do from here? One arm, one eye. I'm
The
retiring.
world.
I'm retiring. He's like, well, I don't want you to retire. Snake Hashira pulls up, and he says that, and he's like, I'm not going to accept you retiring. It's not going to happen. And he's like, well, it's going to happen, and you said you want fresh young people still here? Well, remember that guy you hated so much? Yeah, he survived. He's like, wait, Tanjiro survived?
That Kamido Tanjiro
Kamado
survived.
Tanjiro. And then,
And at this point, Tengen actually even admits that out of like all the other ones as well, he's like the closest to his potential as well.
he's starting to reach his potential.
Yeah.
So, basically, this is big setup. So, it cuts to Kaza, upper 3. And he's walking in the Infinity Castle, which, if you remember correctly last time, the lower demons were summoned to this exact place and slaughtered. And what he says to himself is, the only reason I'd be summoned here is if an upper rank lost. And if you're not getting flashbacks, you should start getting flashbacks because the lowers got decimated because one of them lost. And can you only imagine what the upper ranks are about to go through? Well, here's the thing. I doubt they're going to get as much because they're more valuable to Musan. The lower ranks were just like, whatever, dude.
He's like, yeah, we could replace you if you
You're
want.
very replaceable. But the upper ranks aren't like some of them are not replaceable. Some of them are super hard to replace. Like, and I'm hoping to see some of these uppers animated, dude. Like, holy crap. Upper 1, I better see you in this next season, bro. For real. Like, holy crap. And I want to see more Kaza development. And that's the only thing we get is just him talking to himself about that. But I'm just saying, for the future, I want that to happen. And then they all come together, you know, some of them crying. They're like, we survived! We survived! We survived! You know?
Yes.
And then the
and I
episode cuts
actually,
off. Yeah, what?
I don't know if you're about to just now jump on that, but it was actually right after that as well. Right after they're all like, yeah, we survived this fight and all that. It cuts to the point to where the headmaster of the Demon Corp or Demon Slayer Corp he receives the word that they won. And at this point, he's just happy that they fought an upper demon, they won, and like no one's died.
He's like, this
Because
this this could change something. This could be future.
yes,
Muzan, you stained to my blood. You're gonna die.
yes,
That was a great
and
scene.
oh my god, I just now realized something we fucking missed.
What?
Okay, this is a little flashback. Episode 6, we forgot to talk about the flashback of the flashback. Episode 6, just the sight of Tanjiro and the Hinokami Kagura gave the blood PTSD.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Forgot about that. But
Imagine,
hey,
imagine someone being your ancestor being so stupidly powerful that you get flashbacks through your blood. Like you didn't even get to experience this, but the dude that gave you blood is giving you flashbacks.
like, god damn. Like, actually, I think a lot of the scenes like that were animated with Tanjiro's dad being there.
Yeah.
Which is what you can assume is Tanjiro's dad. I'm pretty sure it is, but um,
I don't know if I should say who it actually is or not. I might as well.
but
It's a spoiler review. It's Yorichi. It's Tanjiro's ancestor, not his dad.
yeah, it looks close enough. But like at this point, I think there's times where in flashbacks of Muzan's, it's like he's getting talked down upon, and like the same form we saw Tanjiro in fighting Daki, where towards the end with the beheading, where like his eyes grew all white and his like scars came about. I think there's like certain like flashbacks where like um that Demon Slayer kind of looked like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a feeling if he masters if any sort of that form, he can probably clap Muzan if he can get to him.
Yeah, for sure. And that's basically season 2.
That's practically season 2. Season 3
Watch it for
has
yourself,
been
though.
announced.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
we don't know when it's going to come out yet, but we know it has been announced, and I'm excited. It's a Swordsmith's Village. Oh man, I can't wait.
And it is going to bring in or reintroduce again, I think, 2 to 3 more Hashiras.
Yeah,
that
like
we've
3 or
seen.
4 actually. Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
Hashiras.
They're going to reintroduce some that we've only saw glimpses of in certain episodes in the past, but now we're probably going to get probably a full dedicated like episode or 2 for each one to actually like give a like talk and to actually get like a personality.
Very exciting stuff's coming up for Demon Slayer though. But for season 2, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9.5 out of 10. There's minor
Ooh.
issues with it, but it's way better than, I wouldn't say way better. It's better than season 1. Season 1 I'd probably give like a 9 out of 10, but like season 2, 9.5 easily. The only reason it's not 10 out of 10 is very minute things, like some of the things were stretched out a little bit too far. Some of them were a little bit dull moments, but that doesn't take away from it that much at all. Overall, it was awesome.
We're supposed to give ratings?
Yeah. What
Bruh.
would you rate season 2
Okay.
out of 10?
Oh shit, the problem is I'm such a harsh grader and it's like I have so much other knowledge of animes. But here, I won't give it a number. I'll break it down like this. So, I won't lie, because of just like the music, the score, and like the animation. It's kind of cheating to say it, but the Mugen Train movie is like part of like one of my all-time favorites so far.
Yeah.
But yes, it does drop down to that second half of this season being like right next to it. Then like the last half of season 1 is right underneath that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would say the first half of season 1 is below that, and the first half of this season was below that. So like there is a little bit of a tier list within itself, but I don't think I'd be able to give like the whole series like a score. But
Well,
if
it's
you
a
want to
season.
if you want to hear a score, I'ma just say 9 out of 10. Not no 9.5. We'll say a 9. We'll generalize to say that.
Okay.
I believe a 9.5 is something that it really does deserve. Has really good animation by UFO Table. The music and like the score is really good. The voice acting, as always, is phenomenal. They're able to capture really good emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would say the only stuff is like, um, I don't think I can actually properly give any series I've ever watched a 10 out of 10. Personally, already watched like almost 100 different anime series, and I don't think I could probably give one a 10 out of 10. A lot of them
Yeah.
are gonna be 9s out of 10, but I need to find like one good one, a 10 out of 10. The closest one I'll say, like that's an anime thing, I'll give almost a 10 out of 10, is actually an anime movie called Your Name, but we're not going to go into that because it's either Your Name or a silent voice, but again, we're not going to go into that because it's not that. I might do something about that later, but
Well, we should
but
like start an anime reviewing series where me and you just get together and talk about anime, like review anime we watch.
yes, we can.
That'd be epic.
I need to come up with ideas for my
You'd have to
channel.
like bring in some of the movies that you watch, like Your Name. You'll bring that in 6 hour, and then we just sit there and watch it.
Oh no, you're not gonna be able to finish it in one school hour.
Yeah, I know.
But
That's
like, I mean, I need to do stuff for my channel. But yes, but I think that is actually where we're gonna conclude our little rating and review over Demon Slayer.
yeah. I gotta go eat.
We gotta go eat. It's like it's kind of late now, but yeah, I also need to eat before they're gonna be like, "What the fuck have you been talking in here about for the past 5 hours passionately about?" But I'm
Almost
gonna
2
chill.
hours. Oh yeah. Anyways, that was our review. Go check out RDM Senpai, best channel ever.
No, no, no. Haven't posted in 6 months. No, no.
Man, this has to be on there though for sure.
Yes,
All right,
yes. I'll try giving my best to give it something good at it.
and that's a cut.